The most foolish man in the Bible is the one and only Rehoboam, son of Solomon, the guy who knew he would lose everything if he decided to be stupid, and did it anyway despite knowing he was super foolish. Today, we take a walk into the life of the most foolish man in the Bible. So subscribe, get a glass of water, relax as we proceed. Welcome back to AWAW TV. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, also share the comments for this video. The stupidest man in the Bible was the son of the ironically smartest mortal in the Bible, King Solomon, and as we all can see, the brains were not hereditary. Anyway, before we go into Rehoboam proving to the world why he deserved this title, let's get to know him first. His dad was King Solomon, the guy who asked God for wisdom, got it, and then quit relying on it, and went ahead to hold fetish, picked up tons of foreign wives, and they messed up his kingdom with idolatry, bought himself all sort of expensive crap, and walked people to their deaths on ridiculous construction projects, and generally just been a rich, annoying king. Well, we'll take our time to talk about King Solomon better. God was not pleased with this, to the point that he had Prophet Ahijah tell the second dumbest man in the Bible he will get most of Solomon's kingdom later to make Solomon pay for being an idiot. And even though Solomon put out a failed hit on the guy who was going to screw over his descendants, he knew he had messed up, to the point that the book of Ecclesiastes is one of the long admission by Solomon that he had been a total idiot. When Solomon died, all the crap he pulled had ground down the loyalty of the Israelites, and most of them were ready to tell his son to get lost, unless things got better. And so, with Jeroboam himself, as mentioned above present, they presented Rehoboam an ultimatum. Either be better than Solomon, or most of us would just walk out and leave you holding the bag, showing that maybe he had inherited an iota of wisdom from his dear daddy. He asked them to give him 3 days to think about his response. He first asked all the smart people in the court how to answer, and the answer was the obvious one: give the people what they want. It is your best interest. And then he asked all the rich snobs who didn't have to work a day in their lives and didn't care how many people worked hard to death to make themselves comfortable how to answer. And their response was to tell the people he was going to be worse than his father, and if the people didn't like it, he was going to make them regret crossing him even more than they had regretted serving under Solomon. Can you imagine that level of foolishness? His answer to the people was the one that was peak retard, and before we continue, we need to reflect on some few things. He knew his people were ready to revolt. He knew someone was promised to take most of his people away if he answered poorly. And he knew God himself had said that this very day would come, and God was bent on pushing him and anyone else in Solomon's family line if they didn't do what was smart. He knew all of this. He still chose to tell the people he was going to be the most foolish person on the planet. Oh my God, as mentioned in the section about Jeroboam, we all know how that turned out, and Rehoboam still didn't really get a clue through the rest of his reign over a mere shadow of the people he used to rule over. If you ask me, he's the biggest idiot in the Bible because he knew without question being a fool would cost him, and gave an extremely easy way to avoid the worst, and the advice he was given that was actually good. Only a brain-damaged human will reject that. Unfortunately, Rehoboam just proved that he was not his father's child, since he did not inherit wisdom from Solomon. And given the sheer magnitude and sheer avoidability of his action, he earns the award of the most foolish person in the Bible. Let me hear what you think. Comment below. I'd like to hear from you. Those of you that know this story, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. Meanwhile, we have exclusive videos in our video session. Do well to check them out. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and also turn on the post notification bell so that anytime we drop any new video like this, you would not miss out. Until next time, God bless you.